Disappointed.
But I like it this time, actually. You're right. These two compositions are so...
Damage yet here for the early game, Silas.
Yeah, and he has to go answer that wave. So now LNG actually could look to contest the end, but...
Here he comes. Flag and drag away. And Doomby should note that Maple still has his available, but the flash forward of Skonda duck. XX has to respect that. With now the bottom lane of Tuan following up as well, but the flash forward here from Chris, they're going to stop him first. And now with the real Galio coming through, Tien is in a lot of trouble. Gets first blooded by Light. As on top of LWX he goes. It is a trade, but one more hit needed as Maple flashes forward for the Justice Punch. A messy scrap in the bottom lane. Netting out a win for LNG. As Doomby gets Wind of War, Maple gets a triple kill. And LNG...
Look for that fight. While XX was only level 4 compared to Tien's level 5.
I mean, we saw him burn his flash as well, too. And XX had to get out of the fight.
Then he's just going to destroy the rest of FPX's front line and just win.
Best scaling in the game, as far as I'm concerned. As we might give Light some kills here. It's 2 versus 3, but the bullet time, even though it's interrupted, does enough damage. Chris picks up the kill. A 1-for-1 trade. With LWX doing a bit of getting past this without getting spotted, but he might not need to. The hero's entrance up.
Doinby does. Doinby's TP actually just came up.
Flag and drag on top of LWX, and LWX doesn't have a flash available. He's just dead. Maple jumps in for the 4th kill of the game, and for FPX, how do they come back from this? As XX gets low, but Doomby jumps on the Cataclysm, locked on down. Chris with the engage, but the damage way too much, and LNG are dissecting FPX in game 2, as the chase will follow up. Tien doesn't get Shield of Duranda, but FPX know that Chris must die.
And I love that because they were a bit, not late, but they had to get coming out from XX, having the confidence to make these plays. Yep. Maple, of course, playing well, and Light has consistently surprised. I'd say even towards the end of last split where we saw Asura kind of start...
Sorry, sir, I have to pause you because Shenlong might be in trouble. He goes to the bouncy house and Khan picks up a kill, but he has no mana, has to flash away. Maple is humongous.
Oh, God.
The giant of the dragons will pick up a kill onto Khan as a response, while LWX is ready to die again. He says, don't give it to Aphelios. He flashes for no reason, and Light now has a 3 kill.
In jungle.
I don't know. The bottom lane right now really struggling on the side of FPX as Chris is going to spot out Maple. Bit of a surprise with Solar Flare, but do they have the damage? Maple, again, word is humongous. He flashes over the wall, but Doomby matches him as well. The Chain Lash to slow down, but the Winds of War does quite a bit. The turn here onto Doomby is very viable as Phase Rush comes in. Cataclysm down, all on top of Doomby. He steals the Cyclone, but the Winds of War again. 7th kill of the game for Maple, and FPX are grouped up. Chris walks into the waiting arms of happy Maple, who has a double kill, who has Winds of War again. Into the backline, LNG are walking forward as Khan gets rolled back in. The bullet time lined up nicely, but it doesn't matter. Chenlong shares in the spoils of war. 13 kills.
Fights right now, LNG can just look towards Dragon and...
As LWX again, he's just dead. And Light now has 4 kills as well.
This is really disappointing. Come out from LNG, a nice proactive play, but almost everything else has been FPX running into LNG, thinking they're making mistakes. Running into
with Khan, right?
They came back and they were playing horribly with Khan, but it wasn't Khan, remember?
No.
Me and you even had this discussion off screen that it felt like their bottom lane was making more mistakes. Tien wasn't playing as well, but...
Okay. Well, we've got Cataclysm here in the mid lane. Flash away. Dwan is going to get followed up with it. It's got a duck. Good Solar Flare. FPX will find this pick onto the Nautilus. LNG sticking around for a bit too long.
Let's also remember that...
Where Maple is now while we are speaking of mid laners. Level 11 Galio here with the hero's entrance, while LNG going to use the Herald to push mid. Turret almost goes down without it, but after the Herald takes out the LPL, because we do have good mid laners.
Even if you think about it, the second tier team, or even first in 2015 was always HQ, and Westor was...
School friends, the long-time colleagues.
He has that even on LNG with Stake. They played together for a while. We just need to make sure that Light can get in the fight as well.
TP coming in. Doomby did reset to pick up the mana as, look, here's the engage from Dwan onto Chris, who flashes away. It's a one-man ulti from the Aphelios as Chenlong goes on in, but no one is with him just yet. Remember, for the Galio ulti, as Doomby picks up the own Cyclone, but LNG are separated. Subjugate used by Tien as well, but LNG are pushing forward as Cataclysm will find its Mark II with the bullet time on top. The hero's entrance is defensive, but they're still onto Chris. They still have the damage, and Light is throwing out some shurikens of his own. One pick here.
Go back to the same setup.
Still being chunked down. Dwan's coming in red hot as well. FPX, 4 people here. You talked about the TP now being used, but over the wall they've hit finally, and Aphelios ulti with the full time comes in as well. Chenlon has joined in, but LNG are getting dangerously low here. Khan with a massive call of the Forge God. Absconded Duck doesn't connect, and XX will be happy about that with Gravitum on the backside. Light keeps him at bay, but Doomy finds him with the pillar. Locked on down as well. XX on the grand escape. Slowed down with the shield, but not slow enough. Gravitum in once again as Light tries to turn this around. The Zenith blade doesn't connect from Crisp, but in comes Chenlun. At the speed of Light, the flash forward with shield to Duran, and Maple still as bad as he is, ready to launch on top of 2. One for the knock-up, and now another for the kill in Khan.
And they went a bit too hasty at first, but still the other members of FPX don't head over and take it.
We're at a point when that Dragon gets looked at seriously. Maple's ult will be up yet again, but focus on the Baron here, and LNG's gold.
The fight's going as you'd expect. Who's going to come out on top? Well, now we have a 3 to win any fight going forward, but we need to remember LNG can make mistakes. FPX do have great players. Hard because even if you all in on Maple, he has the taunt, he has the Zani's Hourglass, he can just buy so much time for the rest of his members of his team.
I'm going to start the engage here, though, in front of turret. Khan's still tanky enough as Call the Forge God comes through. The bullet time lands onto the support, the flash away. They've found Light, and again, you talked about this Aphelios, but now he kites his way back as the AoE starting to fly. Watch Light in the back line. No one near him anymore, and that's going to be game because Maple has found his way in now to the front lines as well. LNG, no mistakes here, Lyric.
And I'm so happy to see, we saw after game 1, they were still so talkative and they weren't down in spirit, and that leads them to picking up the second game.
Forward they go. All 5 members still healthy enough as Light is the one who will not stop with this push. Baron buff pushing the minions in as Dwan finds another engage onto Khan. He can't get the knockup with the Searing Charge. They're onto the back line on LWX. He will get a kill as a response, but he's lost his tank. At least they got Maple, though. So I guess the game's not over. Sitting there with the rest of LNG hovering between.
Yeah, they're hoping that FPX makes a mistake and walks into their jungle, but
depends. Good dodge away as Tian is still going to get locked down. Nevertheless, the ultimate goes onto LWX in the back line, but Dwan, without that ultimate, won't matter too much as the turret at this point. Just getting vision around it. Infernal Soul
hasn't spawned in time, right? G can't just take this patiently, though. They have super minions pushing in the bot lane.
Actually channeling into the base right now as the engage comes through from Dwan. They pull off of the Baron. FPX are cornered around as LWX is going to be the target. The knock-up slides through the whole team. It's called the Forge God does land, but here comes the Wombo and LNG. All they need to do is lock down with a taunt. In the backline, Maple gets his mark yet again, and there are some trade-offs here, but Light still lives. Khan left as a remnant of FPX, and this one's going to game 3.
I'm going to be honest, getting excited about that teamfight win is pretty hard with how far ahead LNG are, but the thing I can get excited about is an LNG win.
Yeah, that's right. One that you wouldn't expect against a team like FPX. 11k gold lead, 32 minutes into this game. They'll close this one out. Light and Maple, it's their story this time around. Big carry pants put on here by some big carry members in LNG.
Honestly, it was a 3-man show.